This is the third time I'm starting, and I think that there's just such a kind of a feeling of the quality of time in terms of my very disturbed body clock. It's just gone 8 o'clock at night, literally 3 seconds ago, and which is very late in the day for me. I'm not really at my best, but nevertheless, I had two kind of major health crises in the last 24 hours. One of them, and they both have to do with temperature. But uh, I've been banging on about the importance of temperature so much. I'm really not going to inflict that on you again. But one of the things that happened is in trying to fill a hot water bottle, which I just felt I wanted to do it on my own, I burned my hand very badly, and it's a hand that I don't know if you can see that. It's so much better, but they had this kind of hose thing in there, so it was kind of damaged skin, and I howled like a baby. Really wept um, shamelessly uh, because I really burned it, but everything's okay. Everything's really, 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 really okay. Um, but this so I just want you to know that I'm going to do the best I can, and I am. Uh, it is easier ultimately. I've been working on this very long message for my family, and this is the first time I'm working actually with some notes, because the first time that the first um, and I just have to kind of put my disclaimer in, which is that I have no idea if any of this has any relevance beyond me, but I can only speak of the tremendous relevance that it does have for me, in the sense that it gives me a tremendous sense of meaning and purpose to be able to um, um, communicate the things, this kind of flow of this kind of flow of something that has been coming to me in a that is so precious, and but I really, as I just said to my family in a video that I made for them, which was a big turning point in my life, and maybe that will be another topic for another one of these things, and that is that uh, always please feel free to exercise the pause, stop, and delete button. Nobody, uh, you know, and if anything happens where you say, oh no, I can't believe you just said that. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? You know, just, follow whatever feels right for you. But I still offer these to whomever wants to watch them. And I'm certainly finding that one of the things, my family is obsessed with writing, and I've been struggling with that my entire life. And now I realize that that is not my thing at all. It's not that I can't do it, but that is not where my effort and what my life is really about at all. The minute you write, you're rewriting and rewriting and rewriting and rewriting, and it's endless. It doesn't stop. You can get a bloody brain tumor from doing that to your head. But I love, as you can probably tell, I'm a complete megalomaniac, but I love talking, and the beauty of that is that it's in the moment. You can't go back and make yourself say something that you didn't say. So, but again, if this has no relevance, there's really there's no reason whatsoever to put any time in it, into it. But um, so I have to start off, and when I tell you the insight that triggered off this kind of this particular, say, episode or entry or journal or monologue, whatever you want to call it, I woke up, and so I must have slept a little bit, with a knowledge. And I want to tell you that I'll say a sense and not a knowledge, because I really want to tell you that some of the things I'm saying today, I know that and you'll know what I mean when I explain them, I really don't know what I'm talking about at all. But I know that even though I don't know what I'm talking about, it's still a topic that is of interest, or a thought where I think, now that's worth pursuing, that's worth exploring. Wouldn't it be something if we knew more about that? And the thought that came into my mind was that being kind of encapsulated um, in a male body and a female body is gigantic. Now, obviously, I really don't know that, but it came in like let's say, a seed thought or something like that. That something that I believe to be true, and I believe that it's something that needs to be explored more, but with a specific intention in mind, and that is that the that it all is this interplay again between spirit and matter, and that interplay um, is going to feel different. That experience of life itself is going to feel different, um, uh, whether according to what body one finds oneself. So I'm not one of these people of past life memories or anything like that. I really don't. But it does make sense, doesn't it? I mean, it just makes total and utter sense. But I feel that research and education needs to be done about this with a particular aim, and that is that in the same way that we teach 1, 2, 3, ABC, we really need to teach compassion. And if we know about some of these differences, because it's like there's spirit, matter, and then I suppose you could say energy is the kind of verb. Um, well, it's actually, it's not like that, but that's how it all kind of spins together, and it spins together in a different way. And this is through observation as well, and through conversations. Um, it is quite different. Um, the whole chemical factory of each. And I mean, all the great ones speak about these things. But this is, I want to add just an extra sentence to this, because this is what came to me and is of deep concern, that race is also a factor. And I believe so strongly that, and from observation and my brothers and sisters um, at Apple over the years, which has been such a tremendous gift in my life. I can't begin to tell you. It's been just magnificent. And I was always encouraged along those lines by Mrs. Tweedy, because I am this marketplace person. And the diversity there, especially in terms of colleagues, has always just nourished me in a place I think that was starving for that. So I think that, and again, it's obvious I don't know what I'm talking about, but that to be a young black man is a very, very particular um, experience that's going to be so different than my own, and one that I think we should know more about with science, with all the different tools that we have of learning about ourselves, of knowing ourselves, and of having love, regard, and compassion for one another. Um, I really believe that um, my brothers, and I say that because there's a little bit of a confession revelation that has to come out here that is also very, very, very clear to me. I didn't know it was as potent as it really is. Um, I really do believe that we just have to do more. There's so many kind of uh, groups within our society, and now I'm going to speak about Britain, who just don't get any help. Mostly, and I'm not going to get into a big political thing, but there's like a white underclass who spend generation after generation after generation in horrible council estates. They've got alcohol problems that lead to, all kinds of real terrible taboos of incest, and I'm not. Please don't. I'm not going to go there. But I just want to say that uh, it's a kind of something that really became so clear to me, and that is that you know how there are some people who, and they've proved this. It's actually scientifically proven with that there is a difference between a male brain and a female brain, and that people who say that they feel trapped in the wrong gender suffer terribly, and the only way they know is doing some kind of autopsy, I suppose, and they find out actually they were right. What a cruel fate to feel trapped in the wrong gender. That's a much bigger topic for another kind. I never suffered from that. I really didn't. But what I have suffered from my whole life, and I didn't know the extent of it. Um, I didn't know the kind of completeness of it until very, very recently, and that is that um, I feel that the color of my skin is completely wrong, and if it could be changed, I wish I would do anything to make it many, many, many shades darker. It doesn't feel right for me, and I've suffered. I just am not a white person. And I'm not, no offense, but I'm just not. I'm not. And I've always felt a sense of home. And last year, it's just about, uh, I think 13 months ago, almost to the day or something, that I came back from being at the center in South Africa, the new this Bethesda Arts Center, or also known as the First People's Center, Arts Center, and it was one of the happiest times of my life. If people, I've always had, I have a tremendous love for India. I was drawing pictures of things, of people with turbans and saris when I was a little kid. But I've never been there, and I don't really feel a need to go there. But this unexpected invitation to go down there to the First People Center, I could just start weeping and just remembering what a moment it was to be welcomed by them. And I felt more at home than I've ever felt anywhere in Africa. I really do believe the world is really ready finally to receive, appreciate, respect, and love the tremendous gifts of the cradle of civilization. What a magnificent country, I mean, a continent. So, uh, this is already almost 15 minutes long. I really apologize for banging on and on and on. But um, the if I let's see that this thing about compassion and talking about qualities of compassion, encouraging them, encouraging people to cultivate that, and to really have a sense of what it feels to be you like that. Ram Dass does this beautiful thing of, oh, look at what you got into. Oh my gosh, how'd you get into that? Look at what I got into. we're just, as Bob Dylan says, we are spirits in suits of skin. And relatively speaking, I've had such a privileged life in the eyes of the world in some ways. But um, if you feel like a stranger in your own skin, then I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for all of the everything, the loneliness and isolation and everything. I really do, because that's the only way qualities get developed. Um, Again, Mrs. Tweedy's whole thing is about the meaning of suffering. One can suffer anything if if uh, um, if one can kind of trace a trail of meaning. So, um, and I started this 3 times, and I want you to know that I do feel that I kind of ask permission in a way to do this. Um, uh, and I think that for the really important things in life, one must ask permission. Um, uh, I, Mrs. Tweedy always encouraged me so much in all the directions that it turns out were the most beautiful for me, and I have a sense of 2 kind of missions that that with that I want to focus on for the rest of my life. Again, I'm a very worldly person, and I'm involved with the world and always have been. I Although the happiest time of my life was, and that's not true. It's no longer true. This is actually, believe it or not, the happiest time. It's the happiest time of my life. I'm sure there are people who say, gosh, she's in denial, she's this and that. Honestly, I really experience it all as the greatest divine gift. And I'm going to the doctor on Monday, and whatever we find out, I don't shrink away from any possible outcome. I really don't. That's how I feel right now. Of course, every cell in the body has a desire to live, and it's not that I haven't found some kind of murky places within myself, within myself. Because also, I should have done this with iMovie, but I'm an idiot. Okay, I should have done it with the phone. That's the easiest way of doing it at all. But anyway, this is how I've done it. I'm not going to start a 4th time. And I'm sure that people are moaning and groaning at the idea that it's already almost 20 minutes. I'm going to stop. I just want to kind of pass on again this beautiful, and she got this from somewhere. Ask yourself, does this path lead to love? If it does, follow it. That is uh, the greatness, the grace that surrounds every shape and form. Yeah, this is it. This was, um, I might have to listen to this and do it all over again, or just add it to another one of these little things. But um, that so that throughout the civilizations, the ancient civilizations of the world, there has been a deep um, um, knowledge and respect, each with, I suppose, a different flavor of um, non-ordinary states of being, let's put it like that. Um, Meditation, various states of consciousness that are not to do with the kind of what can sometimes feel like a rigid prison the demands of daily life, especially um, uh, when you're in some kind of work that doesn't feel personally meaningful. But included in that has always been our coexistence with animals and plants, and we need animals, we need plants, we need to be in close relationship to them. And this is something I have to work on as a girl from New York City. My nature chakra never opened properly, really, or unless it opened and then kind of closed again. But um, certainly my animal chakra has never closed, and I could never live without an animal. At least one, preferably a sea of puppies. But uh, it's our lives without this ancient wisdom that includes these. Let's call them. It's so difficult. Let's call them non-ordinary states of consciousness, where we kind of um, daily life loses its grip on us um, in some kind of practice or another. And I think that the presence of animals and all of this reverence for nature would be so greatly um, honored, because it would mean something to us. We would really do it out of love and not out of duty necessarily. But so this is all a bit of a mess, I feel, but I hope that I was able to say that the very beginning thing, which was about that we need to know, we need to understand what it means to be other than ourselves. We really, really need to um, use all of our resources in with every function of feeling and thinking and intuition and sensation to really know what it's like to walk down a different road than the one that we have to walk in terms of being male or female or this race or nationality or that, um, and we really need to. I remember once being in San Francisco and this woman came on the bus, and she looked so miserable, and and I thought, my gosh, um, rich people are people too. They also have problems. It sounds so ridiculous, but anyway, what I'm saying is that the goal of everything is to lead a guided life, and I've been given this tremendous boon of this perfect tumor in the perfect place at the perfect time with magnificent people around me, and it's really a magnificent experience, and I do feel so strongly that anything that I can. Mrs. Tweedy always said, "We're never given for ourselves; we're always given for others." And if there's any way that I can give through my experience, I really feel that that is um, my overall conviction. It's my overall direction, and this has gone on way too long. But um, I love you. It's Saturday night, and I am an optimist. I really am. I feel very optimistic, even though we've wrecked so many things. I think that I think that as much as we've destroyed, there is a growing awareness. I don't think evolution goes backwards. And I think that there are things you can already see that are just growing and growing in the right direction. I mean, a more loving and healthy direction. But that's just my thoughts. But I offer them to you with real love. And 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 I guess that's it. Um, it's to feel a sense of conviction about one's life is an amazing blessing, and one that I've been waiting for. And now I have received my, as I said before, my sharpened sword of truth. My torch has been lit. And there was something that came up the other day about a spoon. I forget what that was, that spoon. But I'm so happy to share this with you, and again, take it all with a grain of salt. Um, but I hope that we move into a more compassionate world, and I feel that we are doing just that. God bless you.